What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another superstar in the sport of mixed martial arts. Today we get to talk to the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, who dispatched Santiago Ponzinibbio at UFC 287 this past Saturday. Epic fight. Kevin, welcome back to Junkie Radio, man.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? All that aside, is that a Miss Pac-Man game in the back that I see?
Yeah, that's Miss Pac-Man. I got Terminator downstairs and Simpson as well. I got a few arcade games.
What's your high score on Miss Pac-Man?
Honestly, I don't even know. My coach Suge has it. Yeah, Suge comes over here, gets on there, plays. My stepdad gets on there. He tries to play. So those two, they're battling for high score, but Suge has high score. So I think it's like 60 something or something like that. Nothing too crazy. I think I could beat it.
If you're ever short on rent and you want to hustle those guys, fly me in. I got you.
All right, that's a bet. That's a bet. I got you locked in.
Listen, speaking of smoking cats, Santiago Ponzinibbio is no joke. That guy's been doing it for a long time. He has a great skill set. But, man, let me tell you something. You elevated your game. I love the accuracy of your punches, the efficiency. You made them count, the power that you now have. Before, it was a little bit more arm and less hip and torque, and now you're coming together. Beautiful display, Kevin, of striking against a formidable striker on Saturday. How did you feel? Have you looked back at it, and were you pleased with the improvements that you made?
I haven't really looked back at the fight. I've seen highlights here and there. There's a lot of highlights to go around. I remember good moments of the fight, and I was happy with the performance. I was happy with the corner work. I was happy with the team throughout the week, and but overall, yeah, I was pretty happy with the performance. I was happy with the corner work. I was happy with how I was moving. Like I said, I haven't watched the fight, but I did look at the numbers, and those stats are right. I missed a lot more punches than I would like to miss, so maybe it was them counting feints, but I got to get a little bit more accurate. I think I was a little bit more accurate at 85, so yeah.
Well, again, I can't say enough because I've seen you from, even before Dana White Contender Series, then Dana White Contender Series. And, another thing I noticed, Kevin, was you can be sometimes a distracted fighter. Why? Because you appeal to the crowd, you appeal to the fans. Sometimes you can engage Dana or a celebrity or your opponent. You're a little bit distracted. But today, this time I saw you really, really focused. And that's amazing because during the week, there was distractions that led, throughout the week. And I thought, heck, if anything, that might take you off your game. But Saturday, you zeroed it in. I think that shows maturity. And I think, again, that just shows growth to zero in at the task at hand, get the W, get in that win column, take home 2 checks, maybe even the third, and now also cause waves in that division.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. People could say they were distractions. I thought they were, business moves moving forward. But yeah, overall, I can't complain about it. It's like I did for sure focus in during the rounds, in between the rounds. I gave myself 5 to 10 seconds to have fun, and then I got back to locked in on what my coaches were saying. So it was a good fight. I had fun. It's like maybe it's the Miami air, or maybe I just got a little older and realized I got to move a little smarter. But yeah, I mean, I had fun winning. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and now you're 30 years old. You're a veteran in the UFC. You're loved by fans. You have prospects at middleweight and at welterweight. So you have options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You seem to be made of Teflon. Like I don't hear of any injuries. So you have good genes and you're ready to go at any moment. I think I'm telling you, man. I think the sky's the limit for you with being able to progress up the rankings and take it to the next level. But I always felt like dialing it in and, obviously improving the skill set, but dialing it in here upstairs would be the key. And now I see a really dangerous welterweight who has a long reach and is using the long reach and has underrated ground game skills. The sky's the future for you. Is that right? Did that just make sense? I don't know.
Thank you.
Sky's the limit.
The future is bright and the sky's the limit. I'm sitting here mixing two things together.
Nah, I appreciate it. It was a compliment for me, so I for sure thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now is your health intact? Can you fight again? Let's not forget this is the cat that did 5 fights in like 8 months, like 3 years ago. So we won't put anything past you. How soon can you do it again? Do you want to do it again, or have you reached the point where you want to take it slower?
It'd be smart. It's always smarter to take it slower, but I think the way I fought, and I think May would be really quick, but I I think that I would be rightfully so ready for a Chiesa fight if he wanted to step in there in May. If not, we could do it after May or whoever they have lined up for me, whenever they want me to go. It really doesn't matter. If I get to go soon, awesome. If not, I can wait until slightly after July because, Terrence is here and I think he's going to fight International Fight Week, which would be pretty cool. I hope he does, So if I'm not getting ready for something, he's getting ready for something and I'm right there next to him. So I'll be ready to go whenever. But yeah, I'm down to go whenever. As soon as May comes, I couldn't fight this month, but next month I can definitely fight. So yeah, still healthy.
Take it easy, Kev. May's just a month away. Rest up, my man. I was thinking more like International Fight Week in July. That way you get a proper camp, a proper build up. But again, the Trailblazer does what he does, so I wouldn't put anything past you. And by the way, I did hear the comment that you said. I don't know how I didn't follow up on it, but you said it was an investment towards the future, and you're talking about the Masvidal stuff that Dana wanted us to knock off and not talk about. But I also saw it that way, and I didn't blame you one bit. I also didn't blame the media for asking you about it. Honestly, I disagreed with Dana on that stance. But now that we have you, can I ask you just to finish that out? You two cats just seem like you would almost be fans of each other.
Yeah,
How did you two maybe lock horns like that? What can you explain to the audience how that came about?
I mean, it's he say, she say, you know what I mean? Just some things got misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, back in the day, big fan of the way the guy got down. Over time, things changed. It's like it was the Leon Edwards thing. It was none of my business. So, I try to look at it like it was cool. It became like a highlight of success. And I was kind of like, damn, when did punching people behind stage become something that we do? And then that we get love for? I'm like, well, shit, that's what it takes. Maybe I should punch somebody behind stage. And then, it became, the Kobe thing to me was a little outrageous. But I guess when people cross the line, they cross the line. But you had a chance to handle that in the cage and it didn't get handled. So it was kind of like almost like poor sportsmanship. It's like, hell, I didn't want to lose against Chimaev. We said a lot of things about each other and we didn't like each other. It's like I could have got it off in the lobby several times. But, due to business causes, like you try and avoid certain things. I've gotten into it with other guys and it's like I could have did it at the PI, but we made a lock jaws, but we may have locked it somewhere else. It just was certain things that I always thought was a little different. And then we had miscommunication on some other things. He said some things to me on the inbox. I said some things to him on the inbox. At the end of the day, it was just a bunch of dogs barking, and for me, he does have something I want, which is a BMF belt. It's BMF, big mouth motherfucker. Makes sense to me, so other than that, it's like nothing. The guy is successful. Wish him nothing but the best. He's outside of the sport now, so whatever he does has nothing to do with me. He's doing his own thing. He retired, so I mean, fuck it, let it go. If there ever a problem, it has nothing to do with media. It has nothing to do with UFC. It'd be me and him only. So I really don't feel like moving forward is something big that I should too much talk about. If I talk about him one last time, it'll probably be on my podcast for some extra views or just explaining the full situation. But I might not even do it there because at the end of the day, like I said, he's retired and props to him on his career. Hope him and his family, wish nothing but the best for him and his family. But I wanted the BMF and I didn't feel like a BMF should have been moving the way that he was moving. And if I ever had the BMF belt, promise you I wouldn't move like that, and I'd handle that belt on all situations and all the court. I'd handle it the right way. So that's just all it was for me. I had the strap.
That is totally fair. We appreciate your response. While we're at it, plug the podcast. When does it drop? What's the name so people can get on there and listen to you? Because I know you gained a lot of fans this past weekend.
Yeah, actually we did. It was pretty cool. Realized, Recognized. It's on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, and whatever else you listen to podcasts on, because I never really listen to podcasts myself, so I'm kind of hypocritical there. But yeah, I have a good time talking, and it's a place for me to talk at. So you guys ever want to check it out, it's Realized, Recognized. It's on my bio on Instagram, so it's always a good way to find it. And catch me and my buddy on there talking some shit at all times.
I'm definitely going to subscribe. What's it all about? Is it about MMA or about everything?
It's about everything and anything. We do get a lot of MMA traction, but at the end of the day, it's like every once in a while, it's like we talk about other stuff. We might meet new business partners and find new business adventures and just constantly trying to grow the show. We just got a van and we drive around, and it's like I think what we're really enjoying the most is like when we pull up to like UFC fight nights or events and You know, we get to go have like a meet and greet at the bars and stuff like that. Blog video of traveling and stuff like that. Really, it's more of an inside scoop on Kev and just me talking to other MMA fighters and other business people. It's pretty cool. I have a good
I
time.
love it. I love it. And you're thinking outside the box. You're taking control of your career. You're throwing ideas at the wall. That's awesome. Fans love it as well. So
Yeah.
congrats on that. And that t-shirt's awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Let me turn it over to Goes. Goes has some stuff for you. Go ahead, Goes.
Kevin, so we mentioned that BMF belt, and if Masvidal is retired, well, I think the belt should come back. So let's say if they put the ball in your court and they say, all right, BMF is back, you're one of the guys. Who's the other guy on the other side of you?
You know what? It would suck to say, because I would rather not fight the guy because I like him. I think he's really cool, but it's like, how do you put that past? And I was telling Gilbert Burns he should have asked for it. How do you put it past Gilbert Burns? Gilbert Burns is the last person to beat him, and he's somebody that fits the category. He used to fight at 155. He'll fight at 170. I think if somebody was talking shit at 85 and he had to go up, I think he'd do it. Gilbert Burns ain't scared. He's a nice guy, but he's a bad motherfucker. He's down to fight at any time. He's gonna show up. He's gonna bang. He can do it all. And I think BMF just has to be one of those things where like attitude speaks with it, personality speaks with it, and you know, somebody that's willing to go up and down weight classes. I mean, even Chimaev, motherfuckers down to go up and down weight classes. You know, so for me, it has to be somebody that's versatile. It has to be somebody that's going to give other bad motherfuckers a chance to get it, and it has to be somebody that's like kind of like in between. That's just like I said, that's willing to bounce. He's willing to fight everywhere. He's willing to do anything. He's willing to hold that title. I mean, George didn't make it an easy title to hold at the end of the day. Like, no, he didn't defend it. No, he didn't do this. But the persona that comes with it, you know, the chinchilla coats, the being the bad guy, or maybe even being the good guy, or maybe the savior to your streets, or maybe this, or maybe that. BMF is not a regular champ, but it is a champ. It's a champ of the streets, and you have to hold the title right. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say who is and who isn't. Like he said, there's a lot of BMFs, but, you know, big mouth motherfucker sounds good to me, and it sounds perfectly fine in my court. And I think if I got it, I don't see it going nowhere else. You're going to have to stick your head in between these legs and take me down a million fucking times. I'll take that belt away, and I promise you that.
Gotcha. Now, I do want to go back to your fight and an observation as we were watching your fight. Everybody in the room was praising your performance, your strategy. It was all great. But one thing that George and I kind of picked up on, and I think it's maybe because we've known you quite a while, was we were wondering, were you having fun? Like, was this still fun for you the way you fought? Because that seems like a very big component in why you do this. And I was a little worried that you weren't having fun.
You know what? Not as much fun, but I got the knockout at the end, so I didn't have to go home and pull my hair out and be like, holy fuck, why did I do that? So it did make me feel somewhat good. But at the end of the day, it's like I can't be in there to have as much fun as I used to. I still have to be an entertainer. I feel like that's first and foremost my job. But I'm trying to get that BMF belt. You know, that was the goal. You know, if George won, I knew I would have to climb a couple more hurdles to get there. If he lost and I was appealing enough, I knew he'd jump back in there, and he's a savvy vet, so I had to be prepared for whatever he might brought to the table. I don't want a regular championship belt, but a BMF belt sounds really good. And if that means I have to be on a certain type of behavior, moving right inside the cage, moving smart inside the cage, performing the right way, and doing whatever it takes to get there and hold that thing, I'm going to do that. But I'm still going to have a fun time, and I'm still going to knock people out, and I'm still going to do me, whether that means talking in between rounds, talking a little bit of shit before the fight, talking a whole lot of shit after the fight, and dropping 1,000 memes. That's what I'm going to do. But during the fight, I'm going to be a little bit smarter, but I'm always going to be looking to put somebody away because winning on points is just simply not fucking good enough for me. And I think that's why I like 5-round fights, because I feel like I do have a little bit more time if I wanted to be smart and operate behind something, but I'm always going to look for a finish. So it was boring to not bang it out, go crazy, do fun things inside there. But I threw a spinning heel kick there. You know, I threw a Superman punch. I think being a little bit more disciplined, I got to throw some of those fun things in there. And I will find a way to piece those things together, especially when both hands are 100% right. And I will be putting people out left and right. And now that I have a new relationship with my left, I think it'll happen a lot more often.
Hey, Kevin, George brought up the word distractions earlier. And one thing that popped out for me was, when did you know you'd be fighting in front of a former president? Was that ever a distraction when you're fighting to look and see a former president sitting cage side? Was that strange? When did you find out about that?
Nah, you know what? I didn't know. I had no idea. I walked up, got inside the cage, looked over, seen he was there. I was like, oh shit, it's Trump. I was like, what the fuck? That's lit. And I seen Tyson, and I was like, it's fucking Tyson. So, yeah, I was pretty lit about the whole thing. But for me, you know, my boss is the biggest celebrity that I could ever be around. And anytime that I know that he's in the house, I know I got to try and entertain and perform. So ultimately, it was like that was enough pressure as it is, and I knew I had to go out there, and I knew I needed to get my job done. So it didn't really matter who was going to be out there that night. I knew I was going to do my thing and still entertain at the end of the day. So just glad I was able to do it. It's funny. I looked at Dana and I was like, I was telling him, I was like, not bad, huh? Moving pretty good, moving pretty good. He's like, you still got one more round. I went out there, that fool started chopping my leg down, and I was like, oh shit, I do got one more round. Let me fix this. Wow. So it was a beautiful night.
Just to follow up on that, when you leaped over the octagon, it looked like you said something to Dana White. But
Yeah.
another observation I made, you can correct me, and I want to be fully transparent. I'm a Democrat. I'm not a fan of the former president. To me, it looked like you almost didn't acknowledge him or didn't see him because you were so laser focused on Dana. What did you say to Dana? And did you know he was there? I mean, at all?
As soon as I hopped the cage, I said, "What's up, Mr. President?" And then I did laser focus in on Dana, and I
Okay.
was just letting Dana know. I was like, "Hey, man, I thought I heard this thing backstage, but not too bad, not too shabby. He still did his job, right?" And then I hopped back over and got back over. And then when I hopped back over, I realized I didn't shake the president's hand. I didn't shake Mike Tyson's hand. I fumbled the bag everywhere across the board. I met two badass celebrities. I didn't shake nobody's hand. I was like, "What a fuck up." So yeah, I fumbled that bag. I know not everybody's going to be a president of a fan of Trump, but at the end of the day, a president is a president, and anybody who's able to achieve that goal, it'd be nice to shake their hand. And when you get that opportunity and you fuck it off, you can slap yourself upside the head about 1,000 times. So I fumbled that. And then not to shake Mike Tyson's hand with my left hand after getting a left hand KO. It was dumb. I should have blessed my hand for good. I should have did it, but I didn't do it. So
Yeah, I've always put my bias to the side. Jorge Masvidal is a Trump supporter, so is Covington, and I've never let that get in the way of my coverage of MMA. I just want you to know. But
no, for me, it's I'm not big on religion or politician stuff when it comes to talking about that in the public and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if somebody can help you save money on taxes and stuff like that, I am in favor of them being in office because I worked really hard to get my money, and if I can save some of it and be able to help my family and my friends, I like to be able to do that. So props to anybody who can do that. But at the end of the day, I know nothing about politics. I don't know enough about religion to speak on any of it. So it's just nice to meet badass celebrities in my case. That's all it is, you know.
I've told them the same. The opportunities that they've had. One went to the White House. The other one got to escort them off the airplane. I totally salute them, man. And I don't want that to come across in any way here because those are difficult topics. But guess what? We're discussing them as adults. It's just what happened. It was historical. And the other thing I wanted to say was when you hopped over, you know, if you think about it, every president and former president has Secret Service detail.
Yeah.
And because you did it so fast, what was amazing to me that those two Secret Service must have been getting popcorn or something because they were nowhere near him. They didn't know what you were capable of doing. I mean, I watched the replay and I didn't see them.
You got to think about it like this. If Batman was to hop over and say what's up to the president, you wouldn't front about that. You'd be cool with it. And I'm not saying I'm Batman, but I am saying I'm Black Man. And when it comes to somebody who's real, who can save the day, your boy can get it done. So, if a guy like me hops over and says what's up to the president, I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. So, probably not that bad of an idea. I like to think I'm Detective Holland sometimes. Sometimes I run red lights like I'm catching a bad guy, but truth be told, I'm just practicing my skills for future chase downs, you know?
I do have a question on that, man. And all right, so you said you felt like you fumbled the bag or the ball a little bit. Which one do you regret more? Because I'll be honest, meeting a president, whether you like him or not, that's a big deal. But meeting Mike Tyson, for me, man, growing up in combat sports, that's about as high as it can get. Which one do you regret the most?
For me, it would be not shaking Mike Tyson's hand because I know for a fact that I acknowledged Dana and Mr. Trump probably like 15 times while I was fighting. So for me, it was not getting that last little shake. You know, when I hopped over the fence, I was primarily in between Dana and mainly towards Dana and right there with Trump. But I wish that I would have made a couple more steps, shook Mike Tyson's hand, and then hopped back over the cage. But can't live too far in the past, and I got to be happy that I just had the opportunity to fight in front of those guys and ultimately put a smile on their face. It's not often that somebody gets to put a smile on Mike Tyson's face, Trump's face, and Dana's face, and Kid Rock's face all in one day. And shit, if I die tomorrow in a car crash, I'll fucking live some hella goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I ask you one last dumb question, since I've already asked you so many stupid questions? We like to have fun with you. Like to have fun with you, so keep it real. What would it cost to get you to do this? All right. For you to say, Mr. Trump, can I get a picture? Then hand the phone to him and take one with Mike Tyson. Everything's got a price tag on it, Kevin. How much would it take to do something like that?
I mean, it probably wouldn't take any money at all. I'm the type of guy who would probably be like, hey, can I get a picture, and hand him the phone and take one with Tyson, and then hand Tyson the phone and get one with Trump, and then hand somebody else the phone and get one with Dana and all three of them. You know what I'm saying? I think in situations like that, I don't mean no disrespect. I'm just probably not thinking clear. I'm just happy as hell at the moment, you know?
For sure. For sure.
But I got long arms, so I'm kind of like a selfie stick. I can get us all at one time.
That's true. If not Chiesa, is there another name that you're warm to for future fights?
Honestly, Chiesa was just hot on the mind because he had a chance to fight on the card. He didn't get a chance to fight on the card. And, you know, it's like, I never know what another man's making. I never know what another man's doing. I never know if another man has plans with his money that he's potentially about to make. But I can at least offer a man a chance to get his show money by whooping his fucking ass. So that's the least I can do. But if there's anybody else out there that want me to fight, man, I'm completely down. I really don't care. I seen Ian Gary called my name, you know, and I think the dude's on a hell of a trajectory. I think he's doing great things. I think he's on his way to the top. And if he feels like I'm a name that he needs to help get himself to the top, I think he should stay far the fuck away because he likes to strike, and he does get dropped with a left hook. And if you've seen my left hook these days, like I said, newfound relationship, it hurts. And the right hand, by the time he's ready to fight, will be crisp. I just don't think it's a smart fight for Ian Gary right this second. But like I said, maybe one day he'll be a title holder and I'll be a BMF holder, and we can clash it up for big dollars or something like that. But other than that, I don't really know too many people who's mentioned my name or said they wanted to fight me. So I really don't feel the need to call too many people out. I mean, at 170, if anybody at 85, whoever beat me, want to fight again, we can do it. If anybody who's ever beat me at 170 want to do it again, we can do it. Other than that, it's whoever the organization wants me to fight. If they want to keep giving me people that's outside of the top 15, I'm cool with that too. It's great money. The guy that beat Randy Brown, you know what? I'm gonna make a call. The guy that beat Randy Brown, I can't remember his name, but I'd like that fight for some reason. I don't know, it's something about him that kind of like intrigued me. You know what I mean? It was like I was like, damn, I kind of like to fight that guy. So whoever, really, it's whatever they want.
Okay, well that's Jack Della Maddalena, who beat Randy Brown. He's legit. Yeah. Ian Murray's legit. I like all those names. I agree with the left hand. It's beautiful. You got yourself a weapon there. You kind of hinted though that the hands at this moment may not be 100%, but I'm also the belief that you don't have anything serious. So are they just maybe nicked up or something? Is it something serious?
I mean, from the right hand having the surgery, you know what I mean? It's like okay. I'm just outside of 3 months being completely done with it. And I think around 6 months, that's when everything's completely like, you know, just completely crunched up and tighter in there. So it's like, I don't have to worry about the extra little tingle and shit when I get to smacking somebody. I mean, when I get going, I'll still touch you with it. I just don't want to, you know, launch at 1,000,000 miles per hour, but I'll still touch you with it. And I think, honestly, I fight better not trying to throw it 1,000,000 miles per hour. I know what type of damage it does when I throw it at full speed. So I'm always trying to crack somebody with it. I mean, hell, I threw a light back fist and knocked the guy down, you know. It's like as soon as I got home, everybody was like, keep that pimp hand strong, bro. So it's like it's I got a little pop in these hands. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got ropes and I got knots at the end of them. So but yeah, it's like I'd be 100% down to fight a grappler right this second, because like I said, the hands not 100%. I think I could be a grappler up with a jab on the striking, and then me not feeding the right hand too big doesn't open up the hips. So that means if they want to shoot for a takedown, it's just a little bit further away, and it's a little bit harder for them to get in on it. So whatever the organization wants to give me, I love to stay busy. But if I got to wait until after Terrence McKinney fights to fight again, I'm cool with that too, because I told little bro that I won't be fighting 3 or 4 times before he fights once. So I got to try and be a man of my word.
Got it. Okay. Last question. Do you still work with Officer Hendricks?
I actually haven't worked with Johnny in a while. I just think our schedules never really lined it up too well, but it was the whole Hendricks stand thing was too good to pass up, and the opportunity to work with a guy like that. Like I said, I'm still a fan of the sport, so when I see OGs like that, it's great to get that knowledge. It's great to get that work, but I just don't think our schedules ever really truly lined up. I just opened up a little gym in a little building. He was one of the main people I wanted to come over and be the wrestling coach and an MMA coach, but schedules, like I said, they don't always line up, so I had to kind of go ways. I actually need to hit up the wrestling coach to see if he's going to be there tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to wrestle, but in about a week I will. I need everybody else to stay on top of their task, you know?
We knew him well when he lived in Vegas. He's a good guy. We know him and his family. Please tell him we said hello, and I'm glad anytime you get a chance to work with him, you're working with one of the top wrestlers to ever do it. He definitely accomplished a lot in his career.
Yeah, and definitely top tier in Texas for sure. Top of the top.
And you're accomplishing a lot, my friend. I see you headed towards, like I said, superstardom. If you keep it up, because you got that it factor. You can throw down. You like to fight frequently. You connect with the crowd. You got a little gangster side to you, man. So I love what you're doing, and you're staying smart in here. Once they lock the octagon, I think that's a big difference that you made as well. So let's not forget, you're a professional prize fighter, and at the end of the day, you got to handle the business. It's a business. You're on a business trip, and that's exactly what you did on Saturday. Congratulations on everything, all your success.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.